Today I will do the um, IELTS speaking test. All right, let's begin.
Now, I would like to ask you some questions about yourself. What was your childhood dream?
I had many dreams as a kid. So back when I was still a child, I used to dream of becoming a president, an astronaut, because I think those types of employments they sound really cool. And if I were able to do those things, people would admire me, and I would be so respectable, and as well as I would make a lot of money to buy things that I want.
What is your dream job?
My dream jobs is to be an entrepreneur because I think that this employment is one of the most flexible, job and skills that you can acquire. Like you can do a variety range of things. Is very um, powerful that you can, you know, turn any ideas in your mind into profit, and it's tremendously captivating.
Do you think you are an ambitious person?
Yes, I definitely believe so because ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be this president or, be something bigger than just an ordinary person. Growing up, this ideology or this belief of mine has been even strengthened. So I definitely believe so.
Are you the kind of person who sticks to dreams?
Not really, because back when I was a kid, I used to dream of becoming a president, as I mentioned earlier, right? But now I don't think it is a feasible dream. Now, growing up, I think I've become more realistic. I want to be an engineer or an entrepreneur who can make a lot of money. But yeah, I'm not really the type of person that would follow my dream.
Did you like going to parks as a child?
Definitely, because I've always regard myself as a person who is really interested in nature, because I've always feel so cool, calm, and collected whenever I immerse myself in the nature. So even when I was a child, I always asked my parents to bring me to the park where I can interact and just immerse myself in the nature with greeneries and plants.
How are the parks today different from those you visited as a kid?
I think nowadays parks have less trees and greenery in comparison to the past, because obviously nowadays people they focus more on economic growth, so they cut down so many trees to leave these areas for building industrial firms and many other stuffs, as opposed to the park where there's so many greenery.
All right, let me ask you another question. Do you still like going to parks now?
Yes, definitely. As I mentioned earlier, I always regard myself as someone who is deeply interested, and I have a profound passion for immersing myself in the nature with greenery and plants and flowers, because it always allows me to feel grounded and let me blow up some steam.
What do you like to do when visiting a park?
Visiting a park, I just want to just wandering around without thinking too much, because I believe that in this area, I really want to just recharge my battery after a long day or week of work and study, overloaded with so many stressful things. And I just want to immerse in the moment, appreciate the present.
Now, I am going to give you a topic, and you will talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Remember to take notes. Please start speaking now.
So I would love to describe my closest friend who happened to share the same name as me, and his name is Duke. So we got to know each other ever since I was in high school. Basically, we went to this music club in high school, and I was definitely, and entirely captivated by his presence at the moment because he was just so brilliant. There was something about his aura, his vibe that immediately captured my attention. He was extremely good looking as well. Like he's about 6 feet tall. He's jacked, and I think it is the primary reason why so many people are attracted and captivated by, by his presence. So this guy also is one of the most extraordinary learner I have ever known because he was able to learn music all by himself without a teacher. So back when I was in the music club in my high school, he helped me a lot with all the complicated and sophisticated music theory stuff that I was, so obliterated by it and feel so stressful whenever I receive an, uh, an invitation for the school performance. He always helped me, and he can play the piano, the guitar with an expert level of, knowledge that always struck me that he is so talented and um, basically and generally he's just his talent I think is out of this world, and I definitely admire him so much.
All right, thank you. Earlier, we talked about describe one of your friends who learned something without a teacher. Now, I will ask you some more questions related to this topic.
I think it's better to focus on just one thing at a time, because we are living in an era of constant distraction. So the ability to just focus on one thing at a time is very crucial and essential, especially for one that want to achieve a certain level of expertise. For instance, if you are trying to learn how to play a new musical instrument, like the piano, you should really focus on, um, building your skill on this topic rather than just wandering around so many other shiny objects like learning how to get into drop shipping, learning how to trade, learning how to start a new business. I think it's not really efficient. Yes, definitely. I mean, students, I've always thought that they nowadays they are completely obliterated by too many categories and classifications of subjects that are not really necessary. Like these subjects, I don't think they contribute anything significantly to the students' growth in general, but they are just a bunch of trashy, subjects that has no important meaning. For instance, if if a child is interested in artistic pursuit, then we shouldn't teach him about, mathematics or chemistry or physics, as it is redundant. Yes, I do believe that this kind of, you know, creating the atmosphere that is joyful is tremendously crucial, especially in terms of captivating students' attention, as well as spark, you know, interest in the subject for the student. Because nowadays, I think that many teachers they tend to develop this attitude of grimace, facial expression, and they are not really allowed students to enjoy the class because they want to maintain a certain level of respect atmosphere. But I think that in order to make learning efficiently, the atmosphere is very crucial. Yes, definitely. I believe that learning is a lifelong process because if we stop learning from the moment we graduate from high school, we will definitely be, um, crushed by the constant developing pace of the society, especially in an era of artificial intelligence and technological enhancement. We need to constantly revolutionize our knowledge, ourselves to be a better version of ourselves, to learn constantly so that we are not be uh, left behind, especially you know living in an overly competitive era. I think they should plan everything in advance, like setting a list of goal of things that they want to achieve in a day, because we only have 24 hours a day, so we really need to plan everything beforehand so that we can make sure that we will have the most efficient day. We dedicate our time effectively to achieve the thing that we want. For instance, if a child is interested in learning a new musical instrument, but he also need to, balance this interest with his study. Should really divide his time equally to make sure that he still be able to practice the piano, but it's not distracted him from learning. Um, I believe that some objects are considered redundant and not really beneficial for people because of their functionality has no longer been, in used or no longer provide any, benefits for us. For instance, in the past, we used to rely so much on the clock because it is like the only tool that we can uh, used to track the time. But nowadays, with all the technological advancement and stuff, like the uh, the smartphone or laptop, we can track the time very easily, and these objects are considered redundant. I believe that teachers can implement this change in uh, a variety of ways. But first and foremost, I think it's crucial to for teachers to like be friend with their student, because when they are able to create an atmosphere of like it's just the conversation or exchanging knowledge between the two friends, then the atmosphere would definitely be more joyful and enjoyable. Hence, I believe that this could expedite and really strengthen the relationship between students and the teachers. Hence, the learning progress would be more efficient. Because we are living in an overly competitive era with the technological enhancement and the advent of artificial intelligence, LLMs like ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok. So not only do we need to compare and compete with our friends, with our colleges, but we also need to compare with this extremely advanced AI. So constantly and lifelong learning is particularly crucial as they allow us to stay up to date, to stay competitive in an ever-changing field, as well as to, you know, um, yeah, be part of this current contemporary society. I think I will do one more task here. But just give me 5 minutes break. No copyright music. Give me 5 minute break. Okay, let's continue. I'm gonna change the voice. Um, I think that I'm not really familiar with British voice, British accent. So,
Now I would like to ask you some questions about yourself. Are there big changes in this city?
yes, I would say that city has totally been revolutionized for the past few years. So in the past, there are so many trees and greeneries in the city. So the atmosphere is definitely more fresh and clean. But nowadays, there are just so many skyrocket building and so many vehicles releasing toxic gases into the atmosphere, which
Right, okay. Would you recommend your city to others?
yes, definitely. I'm currently living in the center of the capital of Vietnam, which is Hanoi, and I've always been so proud of my city because it has such a long traditional value and significance to it. And if I had a chance, I would definitely share about our values to not only the friends inside the country, but also the foreigners.
All right, moving on. Should schools teach students knowledge about pets or animals?
Yes, I think that those knowledge regarding animals, especially animals like the pets, like dogs and cats, are definitely crucial because when these knowledge are passed down to children and students, they will learn to appreciate the value as well as learn more about virtue and dignity. Hence, they would behave much more efficient in a society social context.
Okay, I see. Have you ever visited a zoo?
I've visited the zoo countless times when I was a kid, as well as recently I just came to the zoo with my college friend, and I would definitely love to share a bit about my experience there, but since the time is limited, so there are so many animals, especially rare animal in the zoo, and I think it's very cool and interesting to witness these animals.
How often do you visit a zoo?
I think the frequency of me visiting the zoo is not really fixed. Is like one every 3 months, I think. Because I'm currently so caught up with my academic pursuit. Like I have so many things to do with my assignment, my graduating project and stuff. So I don't really have so much time to spend going to the zoo.
What changes would you like to see in your school?
Um, I think the biggest change I would love to witness in the future in my university is about the attitude of the professor. Like currently, they are not really flexible in terms of grading and scoring children students exam. So I would love to, you know, for the professors to be more flexible about this. So students maybe they would enjoy study even more.
Okay, here's my next question. Are you looking forward to workings?
Yes, it's kind of embarrassing, but currently I am in the period of seeking for an internship opportunity at an embedded or just hardware design company because it's part of the course and I need to, you know, finish this subject in order to graduate. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it's kind of embarrassing because I've applied my CV to many firms, but they haven't replied to me yet.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any plans for your studies in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, such a long period of time, I plan to, you know, keep study and pursue my master program or education in a foreign country, ideally America or UK or Australia, because I think that study in a foreign environment really helps me build up my confidence and skill.
Now I am going to give you a topic and you will talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Remember to take notes. Please start speaking now.
I'd love to own a high-end electronic piano if I had the chance, since this is one of the piece of technology that I find the idea of owning one very cool, because I've been playing the piano for over 15 years now. I've been playing the piano since I was in uh, elementary school. So the reason for this, obsession with owning such a high-end piano of me is so simple. It is because the piano, I think, it serves as a form of cognitive extension where you can translate your emotion, your hidden feeling to other people, to the audience through music. And I've always been so, admired professional musician when they play on the stage with a very high-end electronics piano, and I just want to be like them. So I think the idea of owning one would definitely be amazing and extraordinary. And I also think that this piece of artistic equipment is very aesthetic, and the people that play the piano can be seen as very virtuous and dignified. Um, and elegant. So yeah, owning such instrument could really transcend even my identity. So I could become a completely different person and better myself. And also it serves as a sentimental value to me. Like whenever I feel down or sad or anger and upset, I just can sit in front of the piano and just relax and you know immerse myself in the music, and everything would, all the upset would evaporate. Yeah, definitely love it.
All right, thank you. Earlier, we talked about describe a piece of technology, not a phone, that you would like to own. Now, I will ask you some more questions related to this topic.
Well, it's definitely the phone or computer or laptop, because these are like indispensable equipments in the modern world, since younger generation, they always feel this constant need to stay in contact with their friends and family. Like they can, like these equipments allows them to connect with other people and maintain the relationship at distance, as well as to entertain themselves, like scrolling through social media during idle moment, so that they just feel like they are being productive and not wasting time. So it's definitely something like the phone, computer, laptop. One of the major distinction between uh, technologies in the past and the present is that, and the present technologies are way more advanced than in the past. So in the past, we may have a computer, we may have a phone, but they are not that functional. Like um, basically, they allows us to communicate from distance and to solve basic and fundamental tasks like writing a document or do some form of very elementary research. But nowadays is technologies have been revolutionized to a completely new stage, like the advent of artificial intelligence stuff. Mm, from my phenomenological perspective, I believe that making friends in real life is way more beneficial as well as enjoyable than making friends online. Because obviously, we all intuitively know that making friends in real life is more sustainable and the relationship would definitely be more long lasting than friends online. Because online friend, we can just, press a button and then we send them a friend request and maybe they will accept it and we are friends. Maybe we will have some sort of conversation for a while and it's just kind of fizzles out as opposed to when making friends in real life you can uh, the relationship is much stronger. Bond, fuck. I think that despite a certain beneficial aspect of technology, I do believe that it has so many negative downside, negative connotation to people's relationship. For instance, when technological advancement come into a reality and people they overly rely on these equipments and they don't feel the need to go outside and having strong communication and engagement in this relationship anymore. Like we can all do everything just at our fingertips at home. Like we can call our friends, contact with our family, so the relationship would definitely be fizzled out. Over time. I believe that technology facilitates a tremendously conducive environment for people to maintain the relationship when they are not met in real life in a long time. Like they can still call each other and text each other, so the relationship basically doesn't fizzles out. But yeah, moreover, I believe that technology also, uh, allow people to um, seeing the current status of one another. Like they can do this by posting their pictures and images on the Facebook or on Instagram. So you guys can still interact with each other. You know, I believe that this is due to the fact that online relationship lacks a certain degree of genuine connection. Like there's just, um, the act of making friends online is so unsustainable and trivial. Like we just need to send a friend request and maybe we can have a conversation. But since we are not meeting in person with the others, it's really hard to connect at a deeper level, like seeing the facial expression or um, you know getting to understand the other person on a more profound degree. It has definitely weakened this aspect. For instance, in the past, we used to, uh, you know, meet other people in person so much because there was no other way to do this, in order to communicate with other people and get our points across to the other. We really need to go. outside and went to a designated place in the area in order to communicate and exchange conversation. But nowadays, with the technological advancement, we can just stay at home and make a video calls and stuff will be sold. I think this phenomenon is deeply rooted in the personality. So for some introverted person, they just feel like it's more comfortable for them to just sit in front of the device rather than having to deal with the complexity of genuine connection of human being. Like they've always been turned off by the idea of meeting in person and having to deal with you know, emotions and genuine connection, like making eye contacts and maintaining long conversation. So they would definitely prefer online interactions where they uh, just need to put less effort into this. I think that's it. I'll end the stream.